Gyles and Camilla are here to take us through today's top news stories. And we're starting with the government plan to get criminals to do unpaid jobs. They're developing plans to expand unpaid working for offenders. Criminals could be asked to fill things like potholes, to clean bins. Good idea, Camilla?
I think so. Don't you? Do you think it's a good idea? I think to put people to work and to have them give back to the community, particularly if they have committed so-called petty crimes, which are never petty if you're on the receiving end of that criminality, because I think people want them to make community reparations. We've got a massive problem with our prisons being far too overcrowded, the government planning to build 10,000 more prison spaces, I think, by the end of this Parliament, which is a rather lofty ambition that many people think won't be achieved. There's been a lot of consternation, hasn't there, about releasing very serious, violent criminals early. I don't think this scheme would be for violent or sexual criminals. I don't think that's appropriate, and people want them to be behind bars. But if people want a chance of redemption, how better to do it than fix a pothole?
This is vital. It's an important idea. It already exists in something called the Community Service Order. You come before the courts and the judge decides that actually this may be an early offence, don't want you to commit it again, you're not going to be a danger to the community by being left in society. They can give you a community service order which requires you to do community work. This is extending that. It's forced upon the government because the prisons, by the end of this year, if we continue as we are, will be full. There will be no more room for prisoners. And clearly the people who need to be in prison are the criminals who are a danger to the community. They must be inside. For other people, my instinct is there needs to be an element of punishment because you've offended, but also paying back to society and giving you a sense of purpose in your life. Actually, if you go out and do something, I mean, we all have potholes in our streets, it's a nightmare. Actually, you can be seen to be doing something useful. A, you'll feel I'm doing something useful, and B, you will be doing something useful.
Another element of this, Camilla, the offenders would not be paid wages, but the money earned would be paid into funds for victims groups.
Well, I quite like that idea too. And also, I think, in regards to being on the path to redemption, if you do the unpaid work and you do it well, it might be likely that at the end of that community sentence, you actually get a job. That's the only way to get you out of a life of crime, isn't it? To actually earn an honest living. And I know there is a problem because criminality sometimes pays more than menial jobs, and that's a problem. But for many people coming out of prison, you know, literacy rates are very low. There are some good rehabilitative courses that prisoners can do, and we've had a lot of success stories of people who have gone into prison having, you know, been excluded from school and come out better qualified than when they went in. But actually what this is all about, and it's the Timpson's model, isn't it, is getting you out of a life of crime into a life of work. And then if you are in a life of work, recidivism rates do go down.
I'm interested in the idea of giving the money away because there are countries in Scandinavia and there are some American states where the prisoners are given the equivalent of the minimum wage for the work they're doing and are helped to manage their money. So they actually have then to pay some rent for being in prison, they have to send money back to their families, their children for upkeep, and they have to learn to save. So the idea is to begin a life of purpose. Also, this is your income, how are you going to spend it? So that, to me, would be a more attractive option, but I can see there is an attraction to this as well.
Yeah. OK, let's move on to Eurovision. Did you watch it at the weekend?
Did I watch it? I'll be watching it again. Whenever I'm feeling low, I have an evening with Eurovision.
Do you really?
Oh, I have to say, ever since I was a little boy and Pearl, Carr and Teddy Johnson won Eurovision with this wonderful song, Tweet, Tweety, Tweet, Tweet, Tweet. I've just loved it. All through the years, I've loved it. I first fell fixatedly in love with Lulu because of Eurovision. I mean, Eurovision has been...
Boom, bang, bang, bang.
All of that. Boom, bang, bang, bang. And these three this year...
Remember Monday?
They should have won.
Well...
They were good enough to... They seriously were. I know we got nul point from the people voting at large.
We didn't, and we did all right with the panel vote, but we weren't anywhere near the top.
And we came 19th in 26 countries.
Should we have won?
There is no justice in this world. But what fun to have... It was so beautifully produced as well. The style of it was just sensational.
It was slightly Bucks Fizzish, wasn't it? Because they ripped off their skirts to reveal shorter skirts. I'm not a Eurovision fan. I've not really ever sat through a whole competition.
It's over.
And I certainly can't think of anything worse than watching it twice.
Well, should we leave, though?
Yes, because Ollie Alexander came 18th out of 26 last year.
We came 19th this year.
It feels a bit personal, doesn't it?
We get to hang up our Eurovision hat.
People get very confused about what Eurovision is. The European Broadcasting Union was formed in 1950. It has grown. It now covers 56 countries. And it's not really anything to do with the European Union. So get that out of your head.
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, after Brexit, we shouldn't be part of it anyway. It includes all sorts of countries. Australia is a member of the European Broadcasting Union. Israel. But other countries that didn't do so well, Malta, I think, got nul point as well.
Do Malta pay as much as we do into the whole event, though,
But
Giles?
we're contributing.
There's an awful lot of money that the UK put in.
Don't you believe in global Britain? I do. I want
Do you
us
think
to be out
Eurovision
there.
helps that?
Eurovision does. It's just enchanting.
Do you think it does help it when we get nul point from the rest of Europe and they're not giving... I mean, I'm not sure we've got a particularly good... I know we've got 20 seconds in our ear as well, but it feels like this could be deeper. The political voting is a
Also,
thing,
isn't
no?
it just a giant oddball fest? I mean, I watched a little a montage of clips. Some of the performances are just downright strange.
That's what we love. It's an evening, a strange evening, when we can be ridiculous in front of the telly. I love it.
Remember Monday was essential for us.
He loves it.
Talk through
Sounds like they need help from Linda as well.
Stories.
You've got
Would you
5
like
minutes to
ask
phone
her?
Linda.
We'll be
phone
phoning
it after
Linda.
this.
We'll be talking to these guys in just a moment. First, though, our next story, we're going to be meeting 9-year-old Lola Lou, Britain's loneliest dog.
Oh, after spending almost 300 days waiting for a new home, the Dogs Trust set up a speed dating event for potential adopters. But sadly, not a single person turned up.
Lola Lou hasn't let that get her down, though. She joined us now live with Tom Gray, who is the kennel supervisor at the Dogs Trust in Shoreham in West Sussex. Good morning to both of you. How's Lola doing this morning? She's not too heartbroken.
Morning, no, she's doing well. She's just arrived about half an hour ago from her foster carers, so she's been spending a bit of time in here getting herself ready for her appearance on TV.
So how long has she been at the Dogs Trust for?
She's been with us now for about 300 days, just a little bit under.
Yeah.
And she came in after being found abandoned in her previous home with just an open bag of food, and had been there for 5 days before she was found.
So, Tom, why do you think no one's decided to say they want to make her their pet and give her a forever home?
She does have a few special needs. So considering her history, she does struggle with being left alone a lot of the time. So it's something that we need someone to build up to with her. She's also does struggle around dogs. She finds them quite difficult to cope with. So ideally, we are looking for a home in a rural area, relatively quiet as well. We don't know what her history is with children either, so we are looking for one ideally without any children or other animals.
OK, so you set up the speed dating situation, and what happened? Why did nobody turn up, do you think?
We're not really sure. She's such a lovely dog, and once she builds a bond with you, she's incredibly affectionate. As you see, she's quite happy just to sit here on my lap having a fun. But you know, it's with dogs like her being a bit older, there can be concerns about health problems cropping up, which might have had a reason for that. But you know, we're still looking. We're not going to give up hope on her. I'm sure the right home's out there. It's just finding them.
Well, hopefully today, for us featuring her on the show, we'll find the right parent who's sitting at home thinking, I could do with a dog that just likes to sit on my lap and have a nice cuddle.
Yeah, exactly. No kids, in the countryside somewhere, it'd be fab.
Best of luck, Tom and Lola Lou. Thank you for joining us this morning, and fingers crossed we can find somebody who would love to adopt her.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's like the perfect pooch for a pensioner.
Yes, does
feel
like
like
that.
A bit lonely at home.
Yes.
She looks a bit serious, doesn't she?
I quite like a little grey.
She looks calm, and she looks like she would be in the best of order on the lead.
Yeah.
And you're following a right royal example, because I see that Queen Camilla has just adopted a new dog.
Yes, a few months
from
ago.
Battersea Dogs Home. She's the patron of that. So there we are.
I think we saw the dog for the first time this weekend, did we not? Have we got a picture of Molly the dog? I think we saw the dog for the first time.
Yeah, it's a really lovely dog.
Did you ever spend 300 days on the shelf, Giles, with no interest in anybody?
I've spent many years on the shelf. Don't worry, I'm OK.
OK,
There's a home for everyone, if nothing else.
Exactly.
let's get back to the news stories. The death of the semicolon.
Oh, my goodness.
My
What we're talking
goodness.
about.
Should we hold a ceremony?
Should we? Should we do something?
Semicolon?
Now, do you
Or
know
should we
what
do
a
something else?
semicolon is?
I know what
Kind
it is,
of.
but I don't know the
Isn't
rules.
it a small full stop?
It's, in a way, it's really, I think, more a large comma.
Oh.
A full stop brings everything to a conclusion.
Silly me.
Between friends, it's just a large comma.
Full stop brings everything to an end, OK? A colon, you know what a colon looks like that, like a pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
That helps you think you're looking to the future. With a colon, you're looking at what comes next. So full stop is stop, colon takes you to the future, semicolon, you're halfway between the two. It's a kind of intake of breath. With a comma, it's just a slight pause. With a semicolon, it's more of a pause, OK? And it's ideas within a same context.
So let's have a think about one. Gyles Brandreth owns a lot of jumpers, semicolon. He has the occasional cardigan.
Brilliant! Brilliant! That's a good example.
Just come up with that.
Anyone thinks she's a journalist?
My job is words.
Camilla.
My job is
That's so
words.
good, because if you didn't put a comma, that would have been quite wrong, because it wouldn't have made sense, because we're going on to cardigans different from jumpers. Whereas it's a pause, it's a new thought, but it's within the context
was
of
a
the
strong
original
comma.
thought.
You've got to get your knitwear right, Camilla.
You have
It's
to.
vital.
Can I just say, in copy at the Telegraph, it's frowned upon to put too many semicolons in.
Is it?
We use the
Is that a
colon
bit
a
too
lot.
fancy?
Bit technical, this, but just quickly.
Yes.
If we quote someone, it's colon quotes.
As in
Okay, it's
looking
not comma
what they're
quotes
gonna say
in my
next.
newspaper. But we don't use semicolons too liberally. The chief sub doesn't like it. I just want to
But
point
you
that
see,
out.
if I may say so, a semicolon before the chief sub doesn't like it would have been correct.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
It's so satisfying.
getting
Language
slightly
is
nerdy.
wonderful, and to enjoy your language
Yes, you can
and to teach
enjoy
young
it,
people.
Gyles, but it's so easy to get wrong without intentionally getting it wrong, and everyone loves telling you when you're wrong, particularly if they're pedants.
But that's true of life. It's so easy to get
Yes.
wrong.
No, isn't
but
there
isn't
more
it
things to
rewarding
worry
when you
about?
get it right? No.
67% of British students never or rarely use a semicolon, and 11% of respondents describe themselves as frequent users.
We've been worrying about what's gone wrong with our society. I think we have it now.
Hang on, someone famous said that the use of a semicolon was to show intelligence. Who was that, Gyles? There was a quote about it somewhere. So actually, if you did, as we're in GCSE and A-level season, OK, if you're revising at home, you just stick one semicolon
just a
in the
little
history
flag.
essay. The examiner might think, oh, hello, we've got a right
punctuation.
one here.
So you can beguile them with the semicolon.
But can I say, there's an important point here. It's to make the language clearer to understand. We are blessed with language, and communicating is vital. So if you're writing something, the punctuation is there to help you express yourself more clearly, and a semicolon can be useful in doing that.
Let's move on just quickly, because one more story we'd like to touch on, if we may. Are you? Do you ever take time off work? Do you ever need time off work?
Not
Camilla?
much work.
No,
not much
work.
time. I have a lot of work and I don't have much time to take off that work because I've got so much of it.
And do you get quite stressed about it?
Yeah, I mean, my day is... I was thinking I could have a whole conference with Linda Papadopoulos right now to discuss stress of newsroom working. So if I had to take time off for stress, I would never go into work.
Gyles, women are twice as likely than men to need time off because of stress, depression and anxiety.
Yes, and I think they do take twice as much time. Men, apparently, according to the survey, only take about half a day off a year.
Yeah.
Sounds unlikely, this.
Because I was a member of Parliament, I've heard of something called the three-line whip. Do you know what I mean by
yes,
a three-line whip? It's a document that you're
Sounds
sent every
filthy.
week, and it shows you the week, the works, what's going to happen.
week, yep.
Yeah, and it's underlined either once, twice, or three times. Three-line whip, you have to turn up.
Is that where it comes from? Okay.
Two-line whip, it's underlined twice. You have to turn up unless you've got a good reason for not coming. One-line whip, you don't have to turn up at all.
didn't know.
But with a three-line whip, you have to turn up unless you can produce a doctor's certificate showing you are dead. So my view is that life...
And if you can, it's a
life
miracle.
is a three-line whip. Show up if you can.
Well, apparently the average male worker loses 0.44 days annually. Women aged between 25 and 34 miss 0.9 days.
Yeah, but that's
But
probably
women
because...
over 55, it's 1.3.
Yeah, I
Is
know,
it
but
really?
can I just point something out here? That might be because women are the default parent and grandparent, and if something goes wrong with the children, that they have to take a day off, perhaps.
So you are taking on more stress?
Of course you are. It's not a
your
case
workload
of
time.
having it all, Ben, but doing it all. As Kat can vouch.
I'll stick a post-it on it.
Thank you.
And bear in
Let's
mind-
make it into a T-shirt.
Bear in mind there's good stress as well as bad stress. And I'm in favour of good stress. You, too, you actually deal with good stress every day. The excitement of being here, getting the thing
I'm
right.
thoroughly excited.
Yes.
to come
And
swear with
that's
you.
good stress. So, well done. So don't look for...
You going on stage, that's
don't-
good stress.
Yes, don't look for a stress-free
Me
life.
meeting a deadline, that's
Some
good
stress is
It's
good.
good stress.
And
Well, not always.
Does that ever angle into bad stress?
Sometimes it gets a bit fraught, but then we all do, don't we?
Yes.
And unless you're contagious, try to go to work.
Yes. You've
That's
never had
fair.
a sickie, you were telling me earlier.
Yeah, I've never had a sickie.
No, we had
No,
that
we were
conversation earlier.
talking about it.
Oh, we're all very diligent.
And I love people working from home. If you're watching,
Yay.
you
We
can
all
do.
love people
We can all
working
do
from home
two
on this
things at
show.
once now.
It's a 3-line whip. Enjoy yourself if you're working from home. Simple.
Thank you for
both.
visiting
Thank you.
our
Thank you,
This
thank you.
Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.